It seems the foreign language is being hit big time by the levy cuts.
8th grade we know is getting cut, which also implies that AP Spanish is going to be cut, because unless you have an honors program in which students are from the beginning, unless from level 1 there is an honors accelerated program, you cannot bring students to an AP level in 4 years. So completely the AP program is going to disappear in Spanish.
And what will happen if another levy should fail?
I hate to even think about it. Because, well, we've already been told that we've been looking at eliminating honors classes. And for us, that's half of our program. That's level 3, 4, and AP. So we may be looking at eliminating 1 or 2 languages in order to offer one program with honors levels. Or just simply offering the very, very bare bones, basic 2 years of a language. That's all you get. Our students cannot compete. They cannot even apply. They might as well even forget about applying to top tier colleges, because you take 2 years of a foreign language, your Ivy League isn't even going to look at you.
Margaret, in the Latin, you don't need to pay, I don't know if you need to pay. In the Latin, okay, so she's taking Latin, and the Latin convention is such a big deal, and that's been such a huge, part of her high school life. And, she was, with always coming in second to Snow, and getting so close this year, and she's talking about, we've got all these ideas, we know what we're going to do with the we're going to get them this year. Well, no, you're not, because you're going to be missing an entire level of competitors, with the 8th grade being gone. And that is just, it's just, it's little things like that could just make you cry.
State of Ohio provides about 30% of our budget, 23 to 30% of our budget. The rest of the budget is primarily made up of property taxes. And property taxes are based on the operating levies that the school district has passed over the years.
There's something called House Bill 920, which means that the inflation, the school never gets more money. So the money that they voted in 6 years ago is the exact same amount of money that they get today, even though all of our homes have gone up, even though everything else has gone up.
Well, so essentially, your taxes don't change because of inflation, which is great for a taxpayer, but it's brutal on a school, because a school clearly is affected by inflation. Gas prices, we have busing, cost of teachers, cost of equipment, supplies, electricity. Those things go up at 4, 5, 6% a year. But if the property tax income that you're bringing in as a school is fixed at a cap of, say, 1 or 2%, somewhere that couple percent deficit has got to be made up. And you go to the voters every few years to try to regain that capital loss that's actually occurring just because of inflation, and it's a difficult sell.
Well, there is, even in a school like Madeira, there is very, very much this strong dependency between the school system and the community. A lot of people move to Madeira because of the quality of the school, so it won't come as a surprise, but the value of the school makes the value of the housing, and the value of the housing makes the value of the school because of the tax burden.
As a resident of Madeira and as a taxpayer, it impacts me because my single biggest, most important investment is my home. And I know that, and I sacrificed a lot, my husband and I sacrificed a lot to buy a home in this district, and we know that we may save a couple $100s next year in taxes, but if the school loses that excellent designation, my investment will drop by tens of thousands of dollars, and that deeply worries me, that my single biggest investment will be significantly diminished.
We realize that we're asking for a lot.
You have to understand that some of us cannot afford more taxes. I paid $3,600 a year now. That's almost 1/4 of my income. If you had received that other $500 this vote, it would have been $4,000. That would have been 1/4 of my Social Security. And there are many of us living here that live on that.
But the nature of today's economy and our current state funding system demand that we regretfully ask you for more.
I know a lot of our citizens say that they're on a fixed income, and I appreciate that. The schools are too. The school, their income is fixed until there's an increase granted by the community. The board will need to determine, and they're working on that now, that the cuts announced in May, if a levy is successful in August, many of those could be restored in time for the start of the school year.
And so passing a levy as soon as possible is crucial. There's already been damage done, and that damage cannot be fixed in a day or a week. But if we can get it passed in August, we can get that damage fixed within a year or two.
I just do want to say one additional thing. I've lived for a number of years with my family in Madeira, and I'm really confident that we are eventually going to have a levy passage. I know that the people in this town value a good, solid education for kids. I know that they value a good and safe community in which to live. Good education is part of good infrastructure in a city. We all have a vested interest in this, and I just know that people are going to do what they know is best for their town.
So you lost your trust, and you never should have, and you never should have. But don't break your back if you ever see this, but don't answer that. In a bulletproof vest with the windows all closed, I'll be doing my best. I'll see you soon in a telescope lens, and when all you want's friends, I'll see you soon.